Hey y'all, meteorologist Sydney Goldberg here from the First Alert Desk, and it was another lovely morning on this Tuesday. In fact, here's a look at our lows this morning. 61 in New Roads, we're 62 here in Baton Rouge, 63 in Gonzales, and a little bit warmer for Friends of Macomb at 66, but regardless, it felt really nice this morning. Here's what it looks like outside right now on our Sky 9 camera. We have blue skies out there and not a cloud to see on our portion overlooking downtown. So we are warming up, but we're warming up nicely. We're in the low 80s right now for most areas. We are a little bit warmer in Hammond, 85, 86 over in Bogalusa, and that's because we're starting to see the humidity return. You can see that in our dew point temperatures here. We're eastward, we're starting to get into the low 70s, so dew points in Hammond are 74, so that's why we're starting to see some warmer temperatures. For us here at the Baton Rouge Metro, we're still into the upper 60s. New Roads also into the upper 60s, so it's still feeling nice for us in those places, but we are going to see that humidity returning. Check this out. This is 24 hours ago, this time yesterday with our dew points. Very different than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday there was a lot of negative numbers here, and that's because we saw that drop in humidity. Today is the transition day where we're starting to see that increase in humidity. So look at Gonzales, Hammond, plus 15 or higher here in Baton Rouge, 12-degree dew point difference. So yes, the humidity is coming back today. The reason for that is because if you look in the eastern Gulf, we've got a good bit of thunderstorm activity. We have a low pressure system here. Winds go counterclockwise around low pressure systems, so we're getting that easterly wind that's helping to pull in that moisture into South Louisiana, and that's why we'll kind of see a slim rain chance today. We do have about 20%, so isolated through the afternoon and early evening. Regardless, it'll still be a warm afternoon, climbing to the low 90s. It's right at normal for this time of year, and then we'll cool down as we go into the evening and overnight hours, but just a slim rain chance today, and that's because of that humidity returning. So we'll start to see some showers and storms trying to make their way inland around lunchtime to the south and east of us. That's where we have the better moisture content, right? Once we get into the afternoon, so 3 o'clock again, largely if we do see any of those showers and storms popping up, they'll stay to the south and also to the east. But once we get into the late afternoon, early evening, it's possible we could see an isolated shower or storm popping up close to the Baton Rouge Metro and even to portions of southwestern Mississippi as well. I do think the model might be slightly overdoing this just a touch, just because we still have some of that drier air in place, not only near the surface, but also in the mid-levels as well. So just an isolated chance for a shower or storm into the late afternoon, early evening, then things will dissipate and we'll keep it quiet and also mostly clear overnight. So yes, we've got the humidity returning, but the temperatures are also warming up as we go into the later part of the work week. So as you can see, once we get into tomorrow, we're climbing more and more and more above normal. So once we get into the later part of the work week by Friday into Saturday, we're talking mid-90s. By Saturday, that's +6 higher than normal for this time of year. So yes, we are going to get warmer heading into the weekend. We had that fake fall feeling for a couple of days, but it didn't stick around for long. Here's why. We have that low pressure system into the upper levels, that's the blue. That's what helped bring in that cold front and also usher in that nice drier air that we got to experience yesterday and also this morning. That moves off towards the east and, well, high pressure starts to build in the southwest. This also makes its way eastward once we get into the later part of the work week by the weekend. So that's why we're seeing that warming trend heading into the weekend. And check this out. This is the Climate Prediction Center. This is talking about probabilities of temperatures above normal. So you can see there's a little bit of a bullseye here, kind of near the Mississippi River Valley in central southern US. So yeah, we'll likely see the warming trend sticking around. This is 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So this is from September 16th through September 22nd. All right, something else. Today is September 9th. Tomorrow, September 10th, is actually the climatological peak of hurricane season. So we are right at the very tippy top of this chart here. But when we talk about the tropics, I've got nothing to talk about for the next week. No development expected through the next 7 days. This is from the National Hurricane Center Tropical Weather Outlook. So that's good news there. But that doesn't mean we can let our guard down. We still have to watch areas for tropical development in the extended forecast. Hurricane season is not over. In fact, I do think we'll have to watch for some of those tropical waves moving off of the African coast as we go through the remainder of middle and end of September. But we'll take the good news while we can. Nothing to worry about for now. In fact, back here at home, today is really the last really nice day of that lower humidity, slight rain chance through the afternoon and evening, but most places will stay dry. Once we get into tomorrow, we'll start to see those temperatures climbing above normal, and then eventually once we head into the end of the work week, into the weekend, that's when we'll start to get those mid-90s returning. And in the mornings though, we'll still wake up in those upper 60s, which is still a nicer feel, but not quite as nice these past couple of mornings. And of course, I've got a dry ride on through the weekend and the start of early next week. Jeff Morrow will have more details on the rest of today and heading into the work week and of course the weekend as we have the big LSU game and Southern on the road. So head over to 9 News at noon for more information there.